Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Flagstaff Superlite 26 FKBS travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to think about when you're parking. On your campsite, you want to leave plenty of room for this big awning to come out. On your off campsite, besides leaving room for your slides, also wants you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. They're actually going to be on the rear of the unit. Your power, off campsite corner, and your water, campsite corner. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive, unhook our hitch. First thing we're going to do is level our unit. The unit comes with a power tongue jack. Night docking light. Should you arrive at night, simply raise or lower the unit until you're level. Now, should you lose power, under this rubber stopper right here, the smaller of the two hand cranks that come in your unit will fit onto a bolt and get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery post every now and then. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. Traveling down the road a lot. Once we got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. The unit has these power stabilizing jacks. Sorry, this docking light on this side. Stabilizing jacks are over here on this side. You gotta extend or retract. When I extend these, I am going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, sinking into hot blacktop. Really good investment. Get a 4-pack of those with 10% off coupon. Put them down and run these down just until they're taut. As soon as it starts to feel like it's going to lift the unit, stop. Remember, we already have our unit level. We're just stabilizing it. Get the ones down in the front. Same thing in the rear. Hit extend. Run them ones down. Once we got unit level and stable, we can hook up our power and water. Now, as soon as these come down, these feet, you may have to move a little to get them nice and flat for you. Again, jack pads, good investment. Just put them down, run these down again. Once they start to lift, stop. Took up our water and power. Big long 50 amp cord plugs in here on this corner. The way these go in is it goes in, say, about 10 o'clock here, and that's going to turn to noon. Now, at the end of that 50 amp service in your convenience pack, if you need to plug into a 30 amp service, you will have a 50 to 30 amp reducer, and as well as a 30 to 15 amp reducer in case you need to plug into a 110. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. Docking stations over here at campsites, we're hooking up to a city water connection. First and foremost, a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce water pressure 40-50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Always use these when hooking up to your campsites because you don't know the water pressure is. Hook that up. Hook up your hose. Don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. Here's on the campsite, located toward the front. And all we're doing at this point, folks, make sure our drain plug's back in there. And-on rod there with the drain plug. Put some plumber's tape around it. Make sure you put that in there nice and snug. Once that's in there tight, we can turn that hose on. Now, if that hose has been on for a few minutes, go inside, open up your slides, get in there, open up your sinks, your showers, anywhere you got water. Turn them on, get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Then you can shut them off, get all the air out of the lines, shut them off, and you are all set to go. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water. We're going to go dry camping. In that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank, which is right around the corner from our city. No need for a water pressure regulator here. You can just gravity fill this with a hose. 2 ways to tell it's full. One is the overflow valve right here, or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on that when you're filling it up. Once it's full, Remove that hose, put that cap on there, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump and hook the city water. That's already pressurized. All right, we're all set to camp. We got power and water. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. Starting up here in the front. Your propane does have a cover. It's on a regulator. Pointed toward the tank you wish to be using, lefty-loosey to open. I prefer going one tank at a time. I may in the middle of the night put it where it'll automatically switch over, but at least this way I know when I run out how much I have left. Green will show on here if you got gas. That will turn red if you're out. Under your propane back here is your battery disconnect. This will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide and propane detector. Again, check your battery post. Keep an eye on those. The docking light I mentioned earlier. Your slides. Gray tank number 2. We'll talk about dumping those when we leave our campsite. Our black tank and regular gray tank are back here. The storage area there. Around back again, our power. You're prepped for a backup camera. Got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there several times a year. Check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. Keeping your unit dry is going to add to the longevity of the life of this thing. Got a little docking light back here. Again, city water here. This will be your tank flush. We'll talk about that when leaving the campsite and dumping black and gray tanks. Down here is where you will inlet your city water. Cable, satellite. Around this corner, our fresh water. A hot and cold shower, a spray port hose will hook up to. Down here is our freshwater drain, that big white handle there. Got a hand crank up there, manual override for your slides. It's right in there in case you lose power. Got a couple of these lips on the outside of the unit. Table will sit on this one. TV, cable and 110 out here. Couple of outdoor speakers. This lip up here is where your griddle, you put the legs on that griddle, and that will set on here with your quick connect LP being right here for that. Over on this side is your regular low point drains. Again, our hot water heater. One more thing on these, if doesn't seem to be working, come out here to see if either one of these are bubbled up. There, I reset, just simply press them back in. The spray port hose I mentioned earlier, and the handle for your manual overrides. I think that about covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. Alright, coming up inside the unit, first thing I always like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of emergency. If these lights are off, I'll do that real quick. As soon as you walk in here, touch all 4 of these, that's going to turn on all of your lights. Your awning, your step, your interior, and your bedroom. Now you can see what's going on. On our control panel here, here's where you check the levels of your fresh, black, and gray tanks. That's the one I said to keep an eye on when you're filling your fresh water. Over here's your battery. Again, our lighting. Here's where you connect the Bluetooth. I'll send a video on that. Water heater, if hooked to gas, water heater if hooked to electric, it does make a difference. Choose correctly. Here's where you turn on your water pump if you need to get that fresh water. And here's where you turn on your tank heater. That's a little 12-volt pad that's on your tanks. If you think you're in inclement weather and they might freeze, that's where you turn that on at. Awning and slide controls. On your awning, you only want to extend that awning out until you can see that brown bar and your flap has fallen down to 90 degrees. If I were to hold that extend down, that would flip up, extend onto itself, and start to roll itself up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you run it out. Make sure you don't run it out further than you need to. As I run that back in, to the right is going to be my slide controls. My left is our thermostat. We'll utilize those here real quick. Shut off that awning light. And with that closed, I'll tell you that these slam locks work best when gently slammed. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and open up some slides. Slide number 1 out. Can't be that big off campsite here. I want you to hear something here. That's the slide mechanism saying I'm all the way out, let go of the button. Some people are confused and think it's something grinding. Nope, it's just an override that shows that it's all the way out. You can hear this one from in here. It's literally what I would do, sit here and hold out. And you hear your bedroom slide here any second now. Same noise. Alright, them are out. Bring us to our this will be your thermostat here. There is a little pamphlet showing how to use this, but real simple system. AC and heat on here. And here's the new dual swing fridge. I really have to touch base on this. Normally being in this kitchen, you're going to swing everything from this side. But I just want you to note they made these so that they can put them in any floor plan. So you can actually open these up from the other side. Just take note, they have to be all the way closed, otherwise the whole door will fall off. So you don't want to have this sitting here and try to go open this side. Take note of that and make sure that you use that correctly. Down here is our breaker box and fuses. You've got a ton of 15s in there. I highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. Got a self-explanatory microwave here, a light and fan above your cooktop. This glass top makes a nice backsplash. Flip that back like that, turn on your panel light, turn that to high, press it in. Have to hold it for a minute, get my flame going. There we go. Same thing on all these here. Press it in to get your flame. Now here, you have to make sure your pilot light lights and then turn it to your desired temperature. Rock this panel light down, it comes an oven light. We're lighting up in here, one touch. Plumbing, keep an eye on your plumbing. You got an access panel there with this square hole screw. Keep an eye on your plumbing. If you travel a lot in this, make sure nothing's wiggling loose over time. Water filter to hook up to your hose. Tire pressure monitoring system that I will send you a separate video from TST on how to set that up. Here's your inverter. You invert battery power to 110 for short periods of time. If you're out boondocking, 110 and charging port here. Table and chairs, nice safety strap in there. Dinette, lighting down here as well. Remotes. There's the sound system. Over here is going to be our remote. On your television, the only thing I just want to mention is when you get to the campsite, go in here, run a digital channel scan so you can pick up all the local channels at the campsite that you're going to be at. Sound system below that actually has a remote as well. AM, FM, Bluetooth. See if I can get anything to come inside this metal building here. It's going to be tough. We don't pick up much inside here. There we go. Well, thought I had a channel. But anyway, AM, FM, Bluetooth, Parakeet TV. Nice sound system. You can run your TV sound through this bar as well. Fireplace, not just for looks anymore. Sure, I can go through and show you all the pretty colors, but the biggest thing is the heat. Actually, no pretty colors in this one, just lighter or brighter. The heat, folks. Turn this baby up if you're in a campsite. Instead of using your heat, use the electric heater on this instead of using your gas up, and it'll get it toasting here in no time. Alright, coming up into our bathroom here. Give your toilet a couple flushes. Put a couple gallons of water in there. Your black tank will thank you later. Bathroom sink has 110 with GFCI reset. Shower doors. I'm going to snap these closed for traveling. You have a hand crank open. Power exhaust vent up here. 4 different speeds on that. Our bedroom. Bedroom slide. You do have storage underneath here. Access outdoors. And you access outdoors through here. Another door to have snapped closed for travel. In this case, snapped open. And lastly, your Go Power Solar controller. One thing you have to do is make sure this stays on flooded. It will by itself for the most part, but if it falls off from flooded, we're going to send you a separate video from Go Power on how to use this and showing you how to put that back on there. It's real simple. We also have a hand crank open vent up in here, no exhaust to it. This is prepped for an AC sensor there. If you want to put a second AC in here. Well, it covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're getting ready to leave the campsite and close the unit up. We'll start by going ahead and putting things away. Bringing down our glass top. Again, securing things. Nice little drying racks here on your sink. Go ahead, come to my control panel and shut off my interior lights. Now any lights that are on, I know I need to walk through and shut off by hand. Shut them lights off and put some things away. Alright, now I want to show you how important it is to have all your doors and drawers closed. Everything that can catch on that, you want shut. And let's start bringing our slides in. We'll bring the bedroom one in first. We've made sure that everything in between the foot of the bed and the pantry are closed. That the door is closed and out of the way. And nothing's going to impede that slide from coming in. Same noise you hear on the way out, you hear on the way in. Same noise. Shut up interior lights and exit the unit. The biggest thing I want to point out on these steps, front and back, is to make sure your exterior door is all the way open. Otherwise this piece here could catch on it coming up. The feet are also adjustable. Just simply press in on this and that'll release the leg. This pretty much lifts itself into place. Now we're going to want to lock, deadbolt your door, lift and turn this handle. That's how you want that handle for traveling. You may not want to deadbolt that yet because you're going to get in there and check the levels of your tanks when we're dumping. If we are out dry camping, we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks, come back here to our freshwater drain, open that up, dump that freshwater tank, and head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we're at a campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, our cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. Now at the dump station, park accordingly. You're going to have two dumps. One behind your tires, one in front of your tires. You're going to start with the one behind your tires. Going to hook that up, and the first handle we're going to pull is this black handle on the right. That's going to be your sewage. When it sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside, check the levels of your black tank. If it shows empty or close to it, leave that handle open. Grab your hose at the dump station and come hook it up, to this tank flush. Turn that on, let that hose run for a good 5 minutes, washing all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, remove that hose. Make sure all that washout water you put in that black tank has drained. Then close your black tank and pull this first gray tank. Now it'll be cleaner water as your sinks and your showers. Usually while my low points are draining, my grays are draining, I'm gonna come around to my hot water heater. If we're done camping for a while and you don't want to leave stagnant water in your hot water heater, come over here, open this up, lift up on this pressure release valve. Now be careful, either air or hot water is going to come out of there. When that's done, close that down, then you can pour your residual drain for hot water there. Get up underneath here, dump these regular low point drains. And when that back gray is done, you're going to close that up. Take your sewage hose and come and hook it up to your extra gray tank up here. Hook that up. Go ahead and let that finish doing it. Draining out that second gray tank. When that's done, close that handle. Grab that sewage hose and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in your bumper and head on home. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Flagstaff for many years to come. Happy camping.